Welcome back to Spinning the Past. I'm about to do some linen spinning. If you remember, I've told in other videos that this is long line flax, and I have it on this makeshift distaff while I'm waiting for a proper birdcage distaff to be made for me. And I spin long line with some water, so it's called wet spun. So if you can see here, right here, I have a little cup that has some water in it, and it's hanging on precariously to this. And let me just get this on here. I've got almost everything ready for spinning. I'm gonna get this on here a little bit, and then right here I have some unspun. So I'm going to take, this is my wet hand. This one here is my dry hand. And I'm going to take the dry, overlap it with a little bit of the wet. I'm going to water it down. As soon as I water it, it's kind of like a glue. The water is like a glue. But I don't want to glue this. So this hand is the dry hand, and the front hand that's closer to the orifice is my wet hand. So they should not switch positions. See if I could get this turned just a little bit more towards me. So I've wet this down. This is hooked together. It's hooked together to this mass right here. I like my flax higher, which is why I'm getting a birdcage distaff. But just for the sake of this video, I want to show you how I spin long line flax. So I will get this going. You see, this hand is wet. It's still damp. And I'm twisting this in the direction of the twist. So I'm using my thumb and my fingers to twist it with the water. The water is our glue. The twist is our glue as well. Just so you can see that. And so now I am in the process of spinning this. Again, back hand is dry, front hand is wet. So the twist is getting back here, but this is dry, this is wet, back here is dry. Front is wet, but the back is dry. Because I don't want this to be a mess in the back here. So that's just what I learned, very important. The front is wet. The wetness kind of helps it to glue together, but it also smooths out so it's not hairy. So maybe you've seen burlap where it's really hairy and scratchy. That's what I'm going for. I'm going for a thread. So I need to smooth out all these joins. All the joins have to be smoothed out. So if you can see this, I'm twisting the front hand. It's damp. And the back hand is kind of being the traffic cop back here. How many fibers get into this before the twist gets in? That's what the back hand is regulating. The front hand, this is wet, this is dry. Smoothing it out. If I need more fibers from the back, I will pull this down and join this to the front. This is getting a little bit thin here. And it just takes practice to get this set up, that that your backhand will grab the individual fibers, and the fibers determines your thickness of this all. Okay, so this is kind of, so as many fibers are individual strands, that will be my diameter for the single. This is a single. flax, because it's a long fiber, doesn't need that much twist to hold it together. In many other fiber preparations, we use that twist as a glue. But long fibers, kind of like long hair, they the long fibers kind of grab onto each other, and by doing that, they hold on to one another, and so it doesn't need quite as much twist. Of course, that depends on what the purpose is, but for this one, for what I'm doing, it doesn't not need that much twist. And yes, I have marked down what my ratio is, etc. So even though I'm not counting it out, I'm counting out my treadles. Go, I have a join again. So this is overlapping. The overlapping bits is where you get a little bumps. If you ever buy linen and you see it's kind of a little bumpy, has a little texture, it's because of the joins. It's like cut hair, and so when you overlap, it's going to be a bit bumpy there. And that's where it took a lot of skill way back when, as they were spinning linen. So they've been spinning linen for thousands and thousands of years. Just smoothing that out, getting it nice and wet. Okay, I'm just going to stop right here. I'm going to show you. So this is the diameter of the single. And if you can see here, I have a one of the smaller bobbins that's for higher twists per inch, and I have this foam. It's like an pipe insulation thing. I use this foam so that my bobbin doesn't get soaked and wet, because wooden bobbins and wet don't go together. So I think it was Patsy Zostowski who first taught me how to spin linen. I think this is what she used. But today, I just wanted to give you a quick introduction to spinning long line flax. And it's long line because the flax is the length of it that it came out of the stalk, as opposed to flax roving. This is flax roving. This is a commercial that you can find. It really needs to be combed before you use it. But if you want to see the length of it, so you can see it's only maybe about 7 inches long. So what they did is that they took this and they cut it up into smaller bits. That's for the spinning machines, the mills, that can't spin this long flax. It's rare to have that in the world now. So this, because it's shorter, will have more joins. It'll join, and the more joins, the rougher it will be. As opposed to a long line flax, there should be fewer joins, therefore it's a smoother yarn, and that's what they would have used for, primarily historically, they would have spun long line flax. And if you see all the fancy distaffs in art and everything, you see how they wrapped up these beautiful braids on their distaffs so they could spin long line, nice, smooth, great for weaving, great for nice, smooth, finished products. So what goes in kind of comes out. So I hope this was interesting for you today, and I'll catch you next time on Spinning the Past.